It's happening. Real time. Real time. To make sure I'm not too loud. You're probably going to hear myself twice here, but yeah, it's a tad loud. Any good way to lower it? That's loud. Okay, this should be a little bit better, hopefully. Testing, testing. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. That's loud. Okay, this should be a little bit better, hopefully. Testing, testing. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's better. Hey Ben, how you doing? Good, thanks, man. Big fan of your album reviews. Well, thank you so much, dude. I am honored. Glad you like them. Hey, aren't you the guy who reviewed Sweet Trip? It was a nice review. I was the guy. I listened to Velocity Design Comfort. And I'd like to do their first album as well. And I'm considering doing their next one pretty much as soon as it comes out as well. Give them a little more exposure, let's just say. Buckeye, hello, buddy. How are you? I wish I was one of those guitarists who I'd be just like, oh, any requests? And I just like somehow magically know all the chords and lyrics. It's kind of crazy to think like once you become somewhat competent with music, you could actually like make some money being just like a session musician or like a professional busker at, you know, not busker, what would the word be? Like a lounge musician or whatever. Because there's a guy, we have this like place here in town. It's like a hotel, but it has a really nice like bar kind of in the building that's sort of separate from the hotel. And they do Taco Tuesdays, you know, like dollar tacos and dollar pints or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. $2-3 pints. And I've gone there a couple times with my family. And my dad, who's like 75 years old, I walk in and like he shows me to this guy who's probably, oh gosh, he's probably like 60, 55 to 60. Kind of like, you know, lumbering sort of guy, has some kind of like walking issue. But he's over there in the corner, you know, with his acoustic guitar, just singing all these 60s and 70s tunes. And he has a printed out sheet of songs he can play. And I look there and I see none other but how does that go? Heart of Gold by Neil Young. And I'm like, play that one. And then like every time I go in there, like I went in there like 2 more times, 2 other Tuesdays after that. And my dad's like, hey, you want him to play Neil Young? And he's like so excited that I knew a song off of this sheet. And he goes like, I'm like, no, that's okay. And my dad goes over anyway and says to the guy, hey, play Neil Young for my son. And what's hilarious is when the guy played it, he started on like the second verse, and it kind of ruined the song. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. That's funny. Will you consider a REM review? I'm gonna do Murmur at least. Never been big into REM. Heard a few songs here and there, but I heard Murmur's pretty good. Arguably their best. So and it's kind of like pretty early or earlier than any songs I know of from them. So I'm like, oh, I'll try it. But I'm not against doing other albums of theirs either. Do you know any New Order on guitar? I mean, like technically the Regret is like without the bass, it's just like it's like a C chord or something. But it's kind of hard to play New Order just on guitar. Every time I think of you, I feel a shot right through with a bolt of blue. Every time I think of you, I feel a shot right through with a bolt of blue. I can't do it. I cannot do it. StreamYard is really slow with keeping up on the comments because I see the comments in the chat and it's not showing up on StreamYard as quickly. REM once considered the American Smiths. It's an interesting way to look at them. Favorite Smith song? Ooh. Gosh. Oh, by the way, I want to test something, guys. I have my thing set up to play audio from my PC, but if anyone joins, they won't hear themselves. So tell me if you can hear what I'm about to play. Tell me if you hear that. What is my favorite Smith song? I'd imagine it's off of The Queen is Dead. I could do a top 3 or 5. And the top 3 or 5 would include Cemetery Gates, Well I Wonder, I Won't Share You, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, and then for number 5, I would have to pick Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. Very quiet? Okay, well at least it's coming through. I don't know which one of those I would consider my favorite, though, is the thing. Hey, Alex. It's Mozzarella Morrissey. Would you ever consider reacting to Morrissey's 5 albums, or at least the first 5? If you check the link in the description, there's a link to a Google Doc that has a list of albums that I will react to, and I'm doing at least 3 Morrissey. We have someone on the line. It is Zach. Hi. That's pretty good. Thank you. Kick. Mine is Big Mouth Strikes Again. That's a good one. I really like the solo in that, but it's like the rest of the album is a little, or the rest of the song, I don't know. I feel the same way with Boy with the Thorn in His Side. Like, I really like the guitar line towards the end of the song, but like the sensational element of the singing kind of like gets in the way of that, I guess you could say. But I not to say I don't love any of the songs. It's just like which one is like hits the perfect for me. Death of a Disco Dancer is a banger. That's right. Have you ever listened to XTC? I think you would like Skylarking. XTC. Hold on a second. XTC. Why do I feel like I've heard Oranges and Lemons, Skylarking? I feel like I've heard one song off of this, or like someone recommended it to me. I don't know. Weird. Well, that was a good sign for people joining, right? That'll really set the mood for the. There was one stream I did where like a bunch of Chinese bots just like raided it as soon as I began. I had like 30 viewers for the first like 15 minutes, and then they like vanished. And I don't know why that happened. I assume they're not subscribers, so I don't know why that occurred. Oh yeah. $1,000 umbrellas. Weird. That's interesting. Any more Alex G reactions? Not planned. There's a few of his other songs I've heard, but he's kind of like Car Seat Headrest to me, where it's like there's like a few songs that just like it's like speaks to me really well, but then the rest are just kind of like so off kilter and I won't say bizarre, but just kind of a weird aesthetic to it, I guess. I don't know how to quite describe it. They feel bland to me, and some of Alex G's other songs feel that way. A good deal of Car Seat Headrest songs feel that way to me. But there's a few that just like blaze clear through the rest of the other songs I've heard, and just like they hit it really perfect for me. What guitar are you playing? Because I'm looking to buy one. This is an old guitar. It's an Aria AW130X. This is a guitar. Can you even see that in there? AW130X. This is an old guitar. One of my sisters bought it. This thing's probably like 20 years old. 15 to 20 years old. And it was just a hand-me-down. She gave it to me because she's like, I see you're into music. I was learning piano at the time, and she gave me a guitar. And I've used it ever since. I've had this thing for probably 12 years now. And it had, like, the strap is gone. This thing is here, but there's nothing on this side to, like, put it to, so I just have to play it sitting down. And, yeah, this thing has seen me through a lot of YouTube covers and tutorials, and I've written like all of my music on this guitar pretty much. I got an electric, like a hand-me-down electric from my wife's grandfather, and that's probably even older. That's probably like a 30 or 40-year-old guitar. It's really old. But my most recent album has some electric guitar on that. I just put some Fender strings on it. I have no pedals or anything. It's just a guitar right into a cheap amp. And that's it. Most of the stuff I do for effects on my music is post-production. I can't afford to do anything real, I guess you could say. What do you think of the new Sufjan album? The like ambient new age one he did with his stepdad? I've heard mixed things on it. Have you guys heard it? Do you think it's any good? I heard that first track he came out with. What was it called? The Runaround? The Runabout? Something. And I liked it. But I haven't really listened to the rest of the album. I know Needle Drop, Fantano, he gave it like a 3 or something. I'm like, ooh, that's brutal. Heard that new Dylan? I haven't, Mark. Have you? I've never been big into Dylan. I have Highway 61 revitalized on my list of things to listen to. So I will get a dose of Dylan in my life at some point. I should play an old song. One of my old songs. I like the new Dylan. Good for you. I'm glad. Let me look up one of my old songs and play it. Like a song from 2015. We'll do Prom. See if I can remember how to play Prom. Well, I know the chords, but... This is a song from my concept album that I made in 2015 called Oakville, Songs for the Apocalypse. It's on, I think it's still on Bandcamp. I don't think I've privated it. It's mixed and produced terribly. The singing isn't great, but the songs, like the composition and the melody and the lyrics, I really stand by still. So we'll see if I can remember how to play this one. This one's called Prom. It's a concept album about starting in the 1950s as like a love letter to the 1950s, and then it gets like a little more darker as like this, it turns into this post-apocalyptic kind of thing, and it's meant to just kind of be like, because I love the 50s, I love vintage retro stuff, and I love Fallout. So this kind of feels like Fallout, the album, to a degree. Like I start with like songs with doo-wop chords and very traditional stuff, and then it gets a little more experimental, while still maintaining like a folk aspect, and it kind of ends a little darker than it began. But this one's called Prom, and it happens like kind of just before the middle of the album. There's a part 2 that's on piano. I don't think I can really play it on guitar, but from there, it goes right into this like instrumental. I'm taking a risk. There's someone in here. Let's see if they're a real person. Unreal. Unreal. Well, I guess I'm learning. I need to vet my people a little bit better, don't I? Um, there is a thing. Guests must authenticate. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. Hey, Alex, I like how honest you are with your reviews and that you are open to appreciating something outside your normal preferences. The Bowie Project is cool. Thank you. I noticed on your link that the first two Modest Mouse albums are on your list of things to review. I would love to hear what you think about those, as they are by far my favorite band. I'm really excited to get to those, actually, because I've heard, I being like someone who grew up in, 2008, 2009, in it being in high school, everyone was listening to Float On and some of the other tracks off of We Were Sinking. But then, like, I didn't realize that a lot of Modest Mouse's, like, early material was as acclaimed as it was. So it's always intrigued me a lot, and I've never, like, taken the time to really go after it. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Bon Iver, is that you? It was. Kind of reminds me of Arcade Fire, I guess, the chord progression. I like it. Thank you, guys. As a song I wrote 5 years ago, and I think it still stands the test of time to some degree. Please add Bona Dragon You Are Quarry to your reaction list. I thought about You Are the Quarry. It looked like an interesting one. I'm open to adding more Morrissey solo albums as I go. Because like I just want to see if the three ones that I have on there are like, if they click with me. If they don't, I'll probably like hold off on more albums for the time being. But if I'm into him and I'm like, this is good, I'll probably like truck forward with a few more albums. Very nice, feeling talented. You have a gift, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with Steve. Modest Mouse would be a great review. Modest Mouse is great. Yeah, I've heard The Moon in Antarctica, which is a great album. Great album. But yeah, I'm afraid to have anyone come in now because is there any way I can like put them on and like confirm that they're a real person without showing their webcam? Because I'm so scared now. I'm gonna have to edit this video. First two albums are more raw than Moon and Good News. I know you like good production, so they might take a few listens. Lots of layers in that music, though. Ben and me would be happy at least. Who's Ben? Oh, Ben Williams. Yeah, the production with Modest Mouse is unlike other indie rock. See, that's the thing, is indie rock can be so bland sometimes, but there are certain outfits. Modest Mouse is one of them. I think the Shins is another one, who are very unique. And then there are some bands who I think like are very seminal, influential, and then they have so many rip-offs. Like I think of Bon Iver, which is something I talk about all the time on here. On these streams, it's like Bon Iver, fine, and then like all the rip-off indie folk stuff that came after that was just cringy. And same with Arcade Fire. Like Arcade Fire, great, but like you listen to Funeral these days, at least for me, and like I hear it and I'm just like, this has been so washed out and drowned out by other indie artists who tried to do that same thing, that it makes Funeral almost feel unremarkable, and that's really sad. Do you think you might react to Billy Bragg? Who is Billy Bragg? I think he's been brought up before. He's more of a punk guy. Is he a solo artist or was he with other people? If he's just like an edgy punk, anti-folk guy, probably not. That's not my speed. But I'll never say never. I'll never say never. So I finished editing the low reaction. Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Yesterday. And I've been trying to upload it, but I've been running into this thing that happens quite often with my videos, is that when I upload them, even though I still have them in like less than 7-second segments, they'll get copyright detected. And usually it's because 2 segments that are short are put together like at the transition just similarly enough to where it sounds like it's able to detect that that's like, 12 seconds of music. So I have to like split up that cut a little bit more jarringly so it doesn't get detected. And I've had to do that with low a couple times now. I've uploaded it twice and it's been detected twice. But I finished another render, and I'm going to try to upload it after this stream. And hopefully have it up today. Or tonight, I should say. At the very least, it'll be up tomorrow. Just to give you guys an update on that. What's up, Alex? How you doing? I am good, Justin. Is that a fisherman's picture? If so, good for you. Hey, do you ever listen to some Hosono stuff? I don't know who Hosono is. I always think of the Smiths when talking about indie. The clones of albums you mentioned raise the significance of the album for me. I can see that, and that's fair. And I wish that I felt that way with some things. There are some albums where I hear them and I'm just like, oh yes, that's so much better than the other stuff. But unfortunately, Funeral just, I don't know, it falls into the noise for me, unfortunately. But I never listened to Funeral a ton anyway. But his songs are mostly just him with electric guitar band stuff, not punk. Okay, you get how influential it really is. Like Arcade Fire's Funeral. Hey, for a laugh, you should put on Corona by Minutemen. Favorite 2020 album / song? Do you have time to keep up with new releases? I do. Man, what's come out this year? I enjoyed this. I think it's a single, "Jogging" by Richard Dawson off the album 2020. That's a pretty good song. I don't know. Can I sort my everything playlist by like when it came out? No, I can't. Let me just scroll back through here, see if there's anything whatsoever. Some stuff from 2019, but I don't really have much on here from 2020. No, not really anything. Yeah. No. Is it Bowie? Are you talking about Low by Bowie? I am. I filmed the reaction on Friday, edited a lot of it on Saturday. Did I film it on Friday? I think I did film it on Friday. Finished editing it on Saturday, and I've been trying to upload it, but it's been copyright hit twice, so I'm re-editing it, and I'll try to upload it tonight. Jogging is cool. It is. The new Yes Tumor album is good. New Malmus album, interesting. Can you please play Comrade the Voices? It's on YouTube. Comrades, artist Comrades, and then song The Voices. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, is this the song? New British Union. One song. Interesting. I think Tame Impala's new album is pretty good. I haven't listened to that yet, actually. Um, that's it's a weird one for me because I've always found their music silly, but they're like really acclaimed. Um, I've never. I don't know how to describe it. They just seem silly to me. I've and it's like there's a lot of new wave that seems silly to me, but um, that Devo for me just never really hit home. I guess I don't know what it is with them, but I know a lot of people love them. YouTube one, please. What's different about the YouTube one? That was actually my favorite Bowie album, even my best three of all times. I'm not gonna say a thing about Low because I don't want to give away how I felt. Um, I want you guys to wait and watch the reaction to see. I'm hoping it gets some good traction because what's been interesting about the Bowie binge is seeing what videos are doing better than others. So like if I go through, I'm gonna go through and say the views for all the song or all the albums. So Man Who Sold the World has 986. It hasn't even broken 1,000. Hunky Dory has 1,107. Ziggy is at 1,451. Aladdin Sane has done the best so far at 1,757. And then Station to Station only has 719, and it's been up for almost a week. So it's weird. Okay, calm down, just hold on. Hold your horses. The voices. Are you just talking about British Union of Fascists? Is that what you're talking about? Title is Comrades of the Voices. I don't know what it is you're asking me to do because there's the anthem and then there's the New British Union song. You trying to get me to play fascist music? Do you have an opinion on television's Marquee Moon? Interesting. I haven't listened to it. I've had people recommend it, and I've tried like a sample of a track on a previous stream, and I was intrigued. It wasn't as punky as you'd expect. It's really interesting. Nah, buff. You're just talking about this thing? I don't. Welcome to the CIA FBI watch list. How do you feel about fascism? I'm not a fan personally. Are you a fan? Oh yeah, The Strokes. I'm so excited about that. Those are two great songs. At the Door and Bad Decisions are great songs. Definitely. Love to say, but it's really here. So bye. See you later, buddy. Fare thee well. Good to see you. Yeah. As sad as it is, I'm probably gonna have to delete this video as soon as it's done, because it has penis in it. But what can you do, right? What can you do? I hope you're all doing well with quarantine and all that. It's not been very different for me, really, but I hope you guys are doing okay. I know jobs are a little iffy right now. Join in our song for They Still March in Spirit with us and urge us to gain the fascist state. Wasn't Bowie kind of into fascism? Or like the Thin White Duke character was? At the Door is fantastic. Yeah, look, the chords are good on that one too. They're very simple. They're like the chords. Great, like analog synth on that one though. It's really cool. If that's what I think, it sounds like an analog synth. Been a lot of rumors about. Ooh, dude, Random Access Memories was like 2013, right? 7 years? You kidding me? I'd be so down though. Television can really play, and it's definitely not punk. Lots of guitar interplay. The title track, Marky Moon, is my favorite song from the 70s. Wow. As a musician, I'm sure you'd appreciate it. Yeah, I think apparently my daughter's in trouble. I think I listened to the part of the title track. It was like a very interesting, almost like a delay echo uh, guitar line that begins it, right? Very interesting. I'm so iffy when it comes to punk though. Like post punk has been hit and miss with me because like if it's too punky, I can't handle it. But if it's a little more like ethereal, gothic, and dark, I can stomach it a little bit better. I'm just the edgy, angry punk aesthetic. It's just not music that I like. I've never been an angry person, so it doesn't gel with me, and it's not really easy for me to like take it in voyeuristically either. So that sounded like Leonard Cohen's "Who by Fire." I was trying to do "At the Door" by the Strokes, but um, Blade Runner soundtrack is great. Tangerine Dream. What is it called? That they're like third album, the biggest one. Fear. What's it called? Fagma. Fear. Dang it, Phaedra. From 1974. I can't remember if I tried that one or not. That was an interesting listen from what I remember, but I don't think I listened to much. Don't know. I'm not. Do I have them on my list? I can't remember. Yeah, Phaedra. I can't remember if I have them on my list of things to listen to or not. Do. All right. Live control room. Is this what I want? I'm trying to figure out how I can delete my video as soon as it's done. Because I don't want to get like reported. Info settings. I put on as soon as I drive home after seeing Blade Runner. Dude, Blade Runner 2049 was so good. It was so good. I loved it. Loved it all over that thing 24/7. I'm not going to worry about this right now. Yeah, probably wrap it up here in the next 10-15 minutes. I usually go about an hour on these things. So if anyone has like Q&A, any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask. Topics you want to discuss. Did you listen to the Abbey Road 2019 release? Nothing crazy about it, but very interesting. What was different about it? Wasn't there a remaster like kind of recently? Aside from that, I think your music taste has developed enough that you can watch Portlandia. It's probably true. Probably true. Portlandia is a hit and miss show with me. Sometimes I find it real funny, and other times I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood. And skip it. Andre. When I lost it all. Dun, 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 dun. It's remastered again. And it was released with a lot of demos and different takes. Really? Wow. The Associates. Maybe? The Associates. Scottish post-punk new wave band. Maybe not. Sulk. Looks interesting though. You think you're ever gonna get around to listen to Future Days? I want to. I'm kind of in this groove now of doing like full artist discographies, or at least like pretty comprehensive run-throughs of discographies, interspersed with poll albums. So it's like if an album, like a a one-off like Can, with like Tago Mago or Future Days, it's like I'm not gonna do all of Can. So it's like I have two albums of theirs I want to do, and like the only way I really can do that is if I just choose to do it myself or I do a poll. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of in a rut recently with doing just certain albums like that. It's like I'm finding that doing full artists is a good way to get subscribers and views, really grow the channel and the community. And then obviously the poll videos support the Patreon and encourage patrons to join. I don't know. I'm sort of trying to figure out my rhythm on this because I've been doing this for 2 years and I still don't quite have it all figured out. What band or album locked the most doors for you? By that I mean, what have you heard from one band that made something else more palatable? I'd have to say Neutral Milk Hotel was a big one for me because it was just the right amount of indie folk and indie rock mixed with a little bit of experimental. And then right at that same time, I started to get into Godspeed You Black Emperor. And I remember listening to Lift Your Skinny Fist for the first time. And I was just like, and I was like, I get it. And I had tried it like years before and I was just like, this is weird. I don't care. It's not, it's, they're long songs. I don't care. But I'd say Neutral Milk Hotel and Godspeed are like the two things that really kind of broke me into more eclectic and interesting things. Although most of all, probably Radiohead. Radiohead was probably like the biggest thing going from like someone. I listened to Coldplay, Keane, The Fray, and The Killers like religiously for a while. And if that doesn't make me like the pastiest white, 16-year-old at the time, I don't know what else would have. But then I got into Radiohead, and that kind of gave me a little more. It's like this is something. This is some texture. And then after that, Neutral Milk Hotel and Godspeed, around the same time in 2014. Ever listened to Jude Sill? 70s singer-songwriter? No, I haven't. Do you have any plans to react to any Led Zeppelin on your channel? If so, I'd recommend beginning with Achilles' Last Stand. Maybe. I would say I'm not into Led Zeppelin, but I don't know if I've really given them a strong chance with any songs. The thing is, it's like I don't love hard rock. I don't love heavy metal. Are they considered heavy metal? I don't know. Like traditional heavy metal. But like I think like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin would do like wonders for the channel. Like I'd get so many views and subscribers. I was kind of blown away when I did the latest Coldplay album, and I did it mostly for me. I didn't do it for like most of my subscribers because like people who love the Fishmans and the Smiths and Joy Division, they're not going to care about my Coldplay reaction. But as soon as the video went up, I got like 18,000 views, or got like 12,000 views in the first week, and it's up to like 18 now. And I'm like, what? That's like the best reaction I've ever done view wise. And I know if I were to do Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, they do really well. So on one level, it's like I should give them a chance for music's sake, and at the very least, I'll get some views, even if I don't like the songs or whatever, right? So I'm not saying no to it. I'm just saying probably not soon, I guess. I saw it during Neutral Mochaton. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's so raw and honest. It's, man, Two Headed Boy Part 2, the closing track on Airplane Over the Sea, is like, I don't get emotionally moved by the album, but I hear that and I'm just like, this is something so almost stream of consciousness, you know? It's really amazing. Hot Fuss, that's probably their best album. Jenny was a friend of mine, dude. That bass line. Ooh. Favorite movie score. Um he's kind of like overrated to some degree or overplayed, but Hans Zimmer, the Inception and the Interstellar scores are incredible to me. Like that's really good composition, I think. Um, I really like the Blade Runner soundtracks. What's the name of the guy who died? Johan Johansson or something like that. The guy who passed away who did like the Denis Villeneuve movies. You watch Prisoners and Arrival, and it's like um, great scores, great scores. But there's a lot of other ones I love too. Like Taxi Driver has a great theme to it. A lot of Hitchcock movies, I love their scores. Um, there's some like I shouldn't say soundtracks because there are some movies where like they have a song that like is in their soundtrack and I love the song. But as far as scores go, I'd say that those are probably the big contenders for me. You know, probably not hip hop. I'll never say never, but I mean, I'm just not a hip hop guy, so I don't foresee that going well. Um, I was drawn in because he did the Joy Division albums, so that was helpful anyway. Yeah, I think a lot of people have, like, a lot of my fans are Joy Division and Smiths fans. Or I shouldn't say my fans, my subscribers. I don't really think I have fans, I'm just a guy. Um, my subscribers, I think, are primarily Joy Division and Smiths fans. So I'm always getting like '80s post punk band recommendations because of that. Um, yeah, that's kind of I think that's a good way to describe it. Which is fascinating to me. Um, so that's kind of why I haven't written them off. What does the rest of my family listen to? Well, I have a wife and two kids. Um, my daughter pretty much listens to whatever I put on her little iPhone 4S, which was my first phone, and I just give it to her so she can watch like movies during quiet time in the afternoon, and she can like play music on it. But I throw like the Smiths on there. Dayglow. If you guys haven't listened to Dayglow, it's this kind of indie pop project by a young kid. Sloan Strubble, I think is his name. And Can I Call You Tonight is like one of his big breakout songs from this album in 2019. But she loves that song. Her favorite song is Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. And her second favorite song is Going Down by Daniel Johnston. So it's just things I throw on her phone that she likes to listen to. My wife, um, my wife, it's tough. I don't know what she listens to and likes to listen to when I'm not around. Um, she enjoys like ironically enough the bands I make fun of, like the Diet Bon Iver bands, the acoustic bands. Um, George, what's his name? George Ezra, the Budapest guy. She likes him. But when we're together, she loves to listen to Sufjan. She's come to like the Smiths. She's come to like Magnetic Fields. Um, what else? She likes Neutral Milk Hotel. Doesn't like Weezer. Weezer is like the biggest band we disagree on. Um, what else? Beach House. She loves a lot of the same things I do. But she has her own music that she listens to when I'm not around, and I don't really know what it is. That's the Way might be a better introduction for you if you don't like hard rock, as far as Led Zeppelin goes. Like 5 years ago, I was on a date with a longtime crush. I was driving around, had Hot Fuss on CD playing. We ended up kissing in the car for 4 to 5 hours with the CD playing in the background. Dude, the good old days of the first days of a relationship where you can make out for like 3 hours. Your lips are dry, but it's just like the funnest thing in the world. Best. It's good. Oh my gosh, really? Is she dead? The only movie score I own is 180 Degrees South because of all the ugly Casanova stuff. Quite a few other Modest Mouse members were on it too. I have no idea what that is. 180 Degrees South? I'll have to look that up. Any reason you don't react to Sweet Trip's third album? It's a great dream pop record. They have 3? I thought they only had 2. Oh. Okay. I was thinking of this, the third one. The third one is the next one I want to react to from them. And I want to do their fourth that they have upcoming. But I also want to check out Halika, which was the first one from 1998. But thank you for that. Yes. Guilty about the Smith stuff. What's up, Alex? Have you returned to any Fishman's music in these past months? Well, I still listen to them. I'll still throw on Otokachi no Wakari. Is that how you say it? Otonakachi no Wakari. I'll throw that album on every now and again. I'll listen to the entire... I prefer the long season off of the live album now. I hardly ever go back to the studio version. And I'll put on like, what is it, Night Driving and In the Flight. I'll put those on like any day of the week. Those are my 2 favorites. But yeah, I love Fishman's. Echo and the Bunnymen is a great post-punk band you should review. I'm probably going to do them at some point. Their first 3 or 4, up through Ocean Rain, I believe. Wait, what's your Belle and Sebastian opinion? They're like right up your alley. I've done 2 reactions of Belle and Sebastian. I did Tiger Milk and If You're Feeling Sinister. I like Tiger Milk. I haven't listened to it a lot recently. But If You're Feeling Sinister, I was actually very torn on it. I didn't love it when I first heard it, and I haven't gone back to it much. It did not click with me much at all. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, I like Tiger Milk more, which is probably a weird opinion, but... Have you listened to Marky Moon by Television? Someone was asking that a second ago, actually. I haven't. There's so many requests for it, though, that it'll probably end up happening at some point. Do you still have the Google Docs document list with your favorite albums? I do. It's not complete, though. I'll post it in the link here. Or post it in the chat. Let me make sure editing is turned off. Share. Okay, can view. Get shareable link. Anyone with the link can view. Okay. There you go. So this is my top 200 albums list that I began. It has my top 10 and then it has 8 more. It's definitely not complete and it's not entirely accurate. But there it is. And then I started... oh gosh, I gotta find this now. I started one for songs, like individual songs as well. Here they are, Alex's top 200 songs. Share. Anyone on the internet can find and view. Copy link. So here's the song list. This has a little bit more on it. This has up to 49 songs. And it's also not exact, but it's pretty close, I think. So if you guys want to check that out. Any thoughts on 2020 music so far? We kind of went over this a little bit about earlier in the stream. I haven't listened to much. I was trying to rack my brain to think of things I've heard, and there isn't much. Given your shirt, are you familiar with Robbie Zacharias, William Lane Craig, or N.T. Wright? I am. I love William Lane Craig. He's my homie. This is a very, I know this is a very big Hail Mary throw, but what are the chances you give Tom Waits another shot? I'm not opposed to that, actually. He's not quite my speed, but I feel like he he does enough different stuff that I'm willing to try, like that cabaret one he did. Was it Blood Money? Something like that. But yeah, I'm definitely not opposed. I'd be more willing to do Tom Waits again than Nick Cave, honestly. Yeah, I find Tom Waits very interesting, but I want to do some more Nick Cave as well. The Boatman's Call is on my list, I think. Get on to some Happy Mondays. People keep telling me to do that. Hello, hello. Hi, Lundrim. How you doing? You missed some talking about the Smiths. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Smarry. Hold on, my nephew's talking to me about tobacco. Oh, I think you'd like Alice or Mule Variations more up your alley for Tom Waits. What's he building in there? What's he building in there? That's the first Tom Waits song I ever heard, if you can call it a song. And I mainly heard it because my brother-in-law was like, this is ridiculous. He's like, my dad loves Tom Waits, and this is Tom Waits. And he showed me what's he building in there. And I'm like, what is this? I was like 15, 16 years old at the time. It was really funny. It was obviously a terrible introduction to Tom Waits, and I've since realized that. Ugh. Oh, David's here. Dude, David, you won't believe, you won't believe, been getting dismissed a lot more. Queen's Dead, such a good song album. It is. Brilliant. David is the only other person who's been on these streams and actually joined and talked. And I just had two people join earlier, and first guy played porn sounds, and the second guy, maybe even the same person, had a nice little camera viewing of a guy just jacking it real good. And so I'm gonna have to edit this video or like delete it once it's done because I don't want to get reported. Nice. Grade 11 class I was teaching. Are you like a professor? Are you like a Benjamin Button person? Because you look like quite young in that photo. What? Your taste seems to be very eclectic. Both of your lists jump between tons of bands. I'm just obsessed with Modest Mouse, and I can't listen to more than one album by anyone else before I go back to Mouse. I'm kind of that way with Beach House. Like, Beach House is my anchor band. Like, Beach House just speaks to me. So, like, I go back to them often. Pretty much most dream pop. Like, Beach House, Wild Nothing, and the Radio Department are, like, my go-to dream pop bands. Happy Mondays invented the whole Manchester genre. Really? They're kind of the genesis of that. Apparently I was going to miss the entire stream. Well, it is almost closing time for me. I should get off here soon. Yeah. What can you do, man? What can you do? I should have known. It's sad, but it's made me like not want to do these anymore because it's like, how can I vet the people who come in here? You know, it's like I have to trust them. Very old pick. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh. When will you get into the Zombies and all the other psychedelic bands of the 60s? I don't know. Sometime. What's the elevators, the psychedelic elevators? What am I trying to say? Like one of the first psychedelic bands. They're on my list. Who are they? I have them on here somewhere. The 13th Floor Elevators. That's it. Check out the movie 24-Hour Party People. That's been recommended before, I think. Moon Safari by Air and 07 are recommendations for albums you want to relax with. Are you familiar with those? Air 07? Moon Safari. What is Moon Safari? Remixes? Moon Safari. Oh, and just the band. Are they involved with this? I don't understand. Electronica chill out down tempo space pop. 7.9 out of 10 on Pitchfork. Pretty good ratings all across the board. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll put that up in Spotify right now, so I'll remember to check it out. In Safari. Throw that into my library. Thank you for that. I was wondering if you can beatbox. Never. Can you name some of your favorite guitarists? First time stopping by on your stream. Love the channel. Thank you, Burst. Thank you. My favorite guitarists: Johnny Greenwood, Johnny Marr, Bernard Sumner to a degree. I think he has a lot of good underrated guitar lines. Tommy Emmanuel. Love Tommy Emmanuel. Great traditional fingerstyle. Chet Atkins kind of guy. I love Chet Atkins and who's the guy he played with all the time? Jerry Reed. Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed. Merle Travis too. The Orb are the best for chill out. The Orb. How's quarantine going, by the way? Because we were all asking me some questions. That's fine. I work in the general merchandise department at a grocery store, which means I'm asked 20 times a day if we have rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer or thermometers. And boy, am I tired of it. But $2 pay increase for about a month, which is nice, and I've been getting overtime. So I'm doing fine, and we live a very introverted, small, quiet life, so we haven't been exposed to much. So things are going fine for me, but I hope things are going fine for everyone else. I'm not really a talk guy. I mean, I listened to Laughingstock, and I loved it. I don't love It's My Life. I don't really love their poppier ones, but I think they're really good as a post-rock band, their later work. Little Fluffy Clouds by The Orb. The Orb. $1991.
You might still see it in the desert.
It's pretty intense, man. I'm really eager to check that one out. The bassist of Talk and Beth Gibbons from Portishead did a pretty good album together. I really want to get to Portishead too. That's another band where I have a couple albums on the list to listen to. Really excited about that. Yeah, I think I'll get off here soon in a second, guys. I'll take a few more questions or topics, but I'm going to wrap it up here in a moment. Are you aware of any other Factory Records groups? I am not. That I know of. Let me look. Is there a list? Recording artists? Joy Division, New Order, Happy Mondays, Darude Column, and A Certain Ratio. 24-Hour Party People. Film. It's a biopic about Manchester's popular music community from 1976 to 1992. Interesting. I don't know. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. I like them. Are there any genres you've tried to get into but couldn't? I guess glam to a degree, hard rock, blues rock, a little bit of metal. I've tried metal. I've tried post metal, like Sungazer is the closest I can get to metal. Hip hop. I've had mixed experiences with Plunderphonics. Punk, I guess, too. It's probably most of it. You and I are living the same life, same job, same questions, and I've adapted to staying home because that is my normal thing to do. Yeah, pretty much. I just, that's the thing is you talk about the virus all day at work and then you come home and your family like talks to you about it too because they haven't seen you all day and I'm just like, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I haven't been to many. Um, Growing up in a Christian household, I wasn't able to really go out to secular stuff that much. And I didn't grow up with secular music a whole lot. Like a Jars of Clay concert was the best I could manage. But once I moved out on my own with my wife, we went to the National concert in 2015, maybe. Great concert. It was right after Trouble Will Find Me came out, and the openers for the night were Frightened Rabbit and Local Natives. And man, that just Local Natives was like, that's a West Coast band. Yeah, national best concert I've been to. I'd love to see Sufjan. I'd love to see Coldplay. I'd love to see Beach House. And if Neutral Milk Hotel ever reunites, I'd love to get tickets to see them too. Opinion on Neil Young. Favorite album by him and why is it? I haven't listened to much of him. He's one I also want to do like a kind of big trajectory on, but I'm kind of worried that it will be samey and not interesting. But like if I'm ever like just kind of feeling low key and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to take like a couple months and just plow through some Neil Young albums. I'm feeling, like maybe going into fall or something like that at some point. I love a good handful of his songs though. It's worth checking out. I never think of OG glam as a kind of music, it's just silly clothes. Sure. Some glam groups had good music. I grew up in a Satanist household, had to listen to Black Sabbath. Okay, guys, I'm gonna split. I'm gonna say I'm gonna split now, so that people start saying goodbye. Thoughts on Marvin Gaye? I prefer Marvin straight, honestly. I have a friend who's a huge Frightened Rabbit fan. My dad also loves the National. I haven't really looked into them myself, though. If you want to get into the National, check out some good introduction National songs and albums. You gotta start in the right place, okay? I kind of started with High Violet and Boxer. I think that's a good place. It's a good entry. If you go to High Violet, Conversation 16, Blood Buzz Ohio, Afraid of Everyone. And then on Boxer, check out Squalor Victoria, Fake Empire, Start a War, and Mistaken for Strangers isn't bad. Apartment Story isn't bad either. Green Gloves is good. And then Secret Meeting off of Alligator, also good. But yeah, they can be hit and miss to some degree. They can be a little samey with some of their music, but all in all, I still enjoy them. All right, everyone's saying goodbye. I'll just accept the fact that I will never like David Bowie. That's okay, man. That's okay. Cheers, bud. Take care. Thank you. Farewell. Have you listened to any other related? I haven't. Is that like Julian, whatever his name is? Is he connected to that? Looking forward to Good to talk to you. Thank you, sir. Hopefully it'll be up tonight or tomorrow. But yes, that's a stream, guys. That's a stream. Low Reaction is coming tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to upload it until it's not copyright detected. And then it will be there for you. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Hope you're doing well. Fairly well.